My name is Elena Larson, and I'm 29, staring at my phone in my Portland apartment, heart pounding as I read my parents' text, "Watch Chloe's wedding online. Link and password below." No, how are you? No acknowledgement that I, their eldest daughter, was uninvited from my sister's wedding. Just a cold directive, like I'm some distant cousin, not the sister who spent months trying to be part of Chloe's big day. That message, glowing on my screen, crystallized a lifetime of being second best, 29 years of my parents, David and Susan, putting Chloe's spotlight above my existence. What I did next wasn't just about a wedding, it changed how I saw myself and my family forever. I'm sitting on my couch, the Willamette River glinting outside my window, but all I can feel is the sting of those words. Chloe, my younger sister by 3 years, hasn't spoken to me in over a year, not since she made it clear I was an afterthought in her wedding plans. Growing up in San Diego, I was the quiet one, the kid who buried herself in books and science projects, while Chloe was the golden child, charismatic, social, the daughter our parents paraded at every family barbecue. My straight A's were expected, her C in art class got a celebratory dinner. I thought moving to Portland, building a career as a data analyst, would free me from that shadow. But this text, this impersonal link to a live stream, pulls me right back to that familiar ache of being overlooked. I take a deep breath, my fingers hovering over the phone. Part of me wants to call Mom, to scream, "Why am I always the one pushed aside?" But I know how that conversation ends, with her sighing, "Don't be so dramatic, Elena." Instead, I think of the thousands I spent on dresses and flights, the hope I poured into being a good sister, only to be erased. I'm not just hurt, I'm angry. And somewhere, beneath that anger, a spark of resolve flickers. Maybe this is the moment I stop chasing their approval. Maybe this is where I choose me. I can still picture our San Diego backyard, aglow with fairy lights for Chloe's 5th birthday. A princess-themed extravaganza with a bounce house, a glitter-dusted face painter, and a 3-tiered cake shaped like a castle. I was 8, clutching my paper plate with a store-bought cupcake from my own birthday a month earlier, a quiet gathering of cousins and a single balloon. "Why does Chloe get all this?" I asked Mom, my voice small. She knelt, her real estate agent smile fixed. "Chloe's more social, Elena. She needs the big party to shine." I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat, but the message sank deep. My shine didn't matter. That wasn't a one-time thing. In elementary school, my perfect report cards earned a quick "good job" from Dad, a retired principal who'd pat my head and move on. But when Chloe brought home a C+ in math, they took her to her favorite taco stand, praising her effort. "School's easier for you," Dad said when I asked why. "Chloe works harder for her grades." I'd stay up late studying, my desk lamp burning, but my effort was invisible. By 8th grade, I won first place at the California Science Fair, my project on solar energy beating out hundreds. I scanned the auditorium for Mom and Dad, heart sinking as I realized they were at Chloe's cheerleading tryout. Later, my gold medal sat ignored on the kitchen counter while they framed Chloe's Spirit Award certificate. "There'll be other science fairs," Mom said, noticing my frown. This was Chloe's big moment. High school didn't change the script. When I missed curfew by 20 minutes, studying at the library, I was grounded for a month. But when Chloe stumbled home hours late from a beach party, Mom just laughed. "She's making memories." My chest tightened every time, the unfairness carving a quiet wound. I started to believe I was less lovable, less worthy. College was my escape. I earned a partial scholarship to UC Davis, working nights at a coffee shop to cover costs. Chloe went to a private art school in Los Angeles, fully funded by Mom and Dad. "She needs smaller classes," they said when I pointed out the disparity. "You're so independent, Elena." Independence, I learned, was code for "you're on your own." Those years shaped me, my drive, my resilience, but also a nagging doubt that I'd never be enough for the family I loved. Portland's rainy streets became my sanctuary when I moved here after college, trading San Diego's sun for a data analyst job at a tech startup. The 1,200 miles between me and my family gave me room to breathe, to build a life where I wasn't just Chloe's shadow. I climbed the ranks at work, my dashboards and algorithms earning praise from my boss, Lauren. Each promotion felt like proof I was enough, yet family calls always pulled me back to that old ache. We scheduled Christmas around Chloe's influencer gigs, Mom would say, ignoring my availability. When Chloe needed money for a new camera, Dad's voice was urgent. Family helps family, Elena. But when I needed support, the line went silent. Then there was Matthew. I met him at a family barbecue in San Diego, a friend of my cousin Noah's, visiting for the 4th of July. We clicked instantly, sketching designs on napkins and planning a hike in Torrey Pines. His quiet humor and love for art matched mine, and for 3 days, we were inseparable, texting late into the night after I returned to Portland. Then, nothing. Calls stopped. Texts went unanswered. Months later, Noah let slip that Matthew had met Chloe during a visit to his apartment. By spring, they were dating. I felt foolish, betrayed not just by Matthew, but by Chloe, who knew we'd connected. When I called Dad to talk about the pattern, Chloe always getting what I wanted, he sighed. You're imagining things, Elena. We treat you both the same. His dismissal hurt worse than the loss of Matthew, like my reality didn't exist. When Chloe announced her engagement to Matthew on Instagram, a glowing post of her ring against Mount Hood's snowy peaks, I was the last to know. Mom called the next day, gushing, "Isn't it exciting? June at a vineyard in Willamette Valley." She didn't mention I'd learned through social media, not family. Aunt Linda, Mom's sister, called later, her voice soft. I heard about Matthew. Are you okay? I lied, staring out at Portland's gray skyline. It was just a fling. But the hurt lingered, not just losing Matthew, but knowing Chloe had taken something I'd cherished again. I threw myself into work, my cubicle a refuge where my skills mattered. But the engagement news reopened old wounds, reminding me that no distance could erase the family hierarchy where Chloe was the star and I was the footnote. When Chloe named me a bridesmaid, a flicker of hope sparked. Maybe this wedding could mend our fractured bond. I budgeted $2,000 for flights, a dress, and a hotel, dipping into savings for a data science course. But Chloe's group emails arrived like a storm, demands for $400 shoes, $500 makeup sessions, and 5 mandatory events, each tagged with, "This is my dream day." Full commitment or step out. My heart sank with each message, the financial and emotional toll mounting. I wanted to be the sister she needed, but the cost felt like erasure. Mom called one evening, her voice clipped. Chloe wants all bridesmaids to have matching bobs with bangs. You'll need to grow your hair out. My pixie cut, a style I'd loved for years, was non-negotiable. Mom, my hair won't grow that fast, I said, touching the short strands. Figure it out, Elena. It's her day. I swallowed my frustration, but Chloe's next email pushed harder. A spreadsheet tracking our workouts, skincare routines, and photo-ready progress, my column glaring red for non-compliance. When I couldn't attend her bachelorette weekend in Napa, my work deadline for a major client dashboard clashed. Chloe texted, "Your career always comes first, doesn't it?" Selfish. I offered to host a Portland brunch instead, but she ignored me. Noah, my cousin, texted a warning. "Chloe's been talking about you to the bridal party. Tread carefully." I asked for details, but he went silent. Then came the dress fiasco. Mom called about a $700 gown, non-refundable, picked without me. "It's a size 4, she said. I'm a 10. "Chloe thought it'd motivate you to slim down," she added. My jaw clenched. "That's not okay, Mom. I need a dress that fits me." She sighed. "Don't make this about you. Chloe wants perfect photos." The implication, that my body wasn't good enough, cut deep. I paid for alterations, another $300, my savings dwindling. Chloe's demands escalated, $600 for her honeymoon fund, $400 for a shower I wasn't invited to plan. When I told Mom I couldn't afford it all, she snapped, "The Caldwells expect generous gifts. We can't look cheap." I confided in Mia, my barista friend, over coffee. "It's like they're punishing me for existing," I said, my voice cracking. "You don't owe them your soul," she replied, squeezing my hand. But I kept trying, sending engagement gifts, offering to design the wedding website. Chloe's response? We've got it handled. Each rejection felt like a door slamming. I lay awake at night, anxiety twisting my stomach, wondering why my efforts were never enough. Yet I clung to the hope that showing up, smiling through the pain, might finally earn me a place in their hearts. 6 weeks before the wedding, Chloe called, her voice syrupy with false warmth. Elena, we need to talk about your bridesmaid role. My stomach plummeted. It's been stressful for you, missing events, causing tension with the others. Tension? The other bridesmaids, like Cousin Sophie, had been kind in our group chats. I think you'd be happier as a guest, Chloe said. I gripped my phone, Portland's rain streaking my window. I've spent thousands, taken time off, done everything you asked, I said, voice shaking. You're making this about money, not my happiness, she snapped. Mom and Dad agree it's less drama this way. The betrayal hit like a slap. My parents, complicit, hadn't even called me themselves. I dialed Dad, hoping for clarity. Chloe's overwhelmed, he said, voice flat. It's easier with local bridesmaids. Sophie lives in Denver. I wanted to scream, but the truth was clear. They'd chosen Chloe's comfort over me, again. I curled up on my couch, tears burning. I'd poured my heart into this wedding, believing it could heal us. Instead, I was disposable. At work, I broke down during a meeting, excusing myself as my team stared. Lauren, my boss, followed me to a quiet office. What's going on, Elena? She asked. The dam broke. Decades of being second, Chloe's demands, the demotion. She listened, then asked, would you let anyone else treat you like this? The question stopped me cold. No, I whispered. That night, I met with my therapist, Dr. Rachel Nguyen. What if you didn't go to the wedding? She asked. I froze. Skipping it felt like severing family ties forever. They'd hate me, I said. Are they loving you now? She countered. Her words echoed Lauren's, planting a seed. I tallied my losses, $4,200 in non-refundable expenses, flights, dresses, gifts. The money stung, but the real cost was my self-worth, chipped away with every dismissal. I stared at my calendar, the wedding dates circled. What if, instead of enduring more rejection, I chose myself? The idea felt radical, terrifying, but also like a lifeline. Mia texted, you deserve better than their crumbs. As I sat in my quiet apartment, the weight of years of trying to prove my worth pressed down. Maybe it was time to stop begging for a seat at their table and build my own. The morning of Chloe's wedding, my phone buzzed with a text from Mom and Dad. Ceremony starts soon. Watch online. Chloe Matthew forever. No warmth, no acknowledgement of my own invitation, just a live stream link, like I was a stranger. Then, Chloe's message, don't comment on the stream. Nobody needs to know why you're not here. Her words twisted the knife, implying I was the problem, my absence a secret to be buried. I sat at my kitchen table, the Portland skyline hazy through the fog, torn between anger and curiosity. Part of me wanted to watch, to see the day I'd poured so much into. But another part, stronger now, whispered, why witness your own erasure? I thought of Dr. Nguyen's question, are they loving you now? I thought of Lauren's, would you let anyone else treat you like this? The answers were clear. I'd spent years chasing their approval, reshaping myself to fit their mold. No more. I opened my laptop, clicked the live stream link, then paused. My finger hovered over cancel. This wasn't just about a wedding, it was about choosing me. I clicked. The screen went blank, my desktop's forest wallpaper replacing the stream. The silence in my apartment felt holy, like I'd reclaimed a piece of my soul. Instead of watching, I packed a backpack and drove to Mount Hood. I'd booked a solo hiking retreat with my vacation days, trading a vineyard's tension for pine-scented trails. As I hiked, the crunch of gravel under my boots drowned out the family noise in my head. Each step felt like a declaration. I am enough. The forest, vast and indifferent, didn't care about my family's hierarchy. For the first time, I didn't either. My phone stayed on Do Not Disturb, except for Mia and Aunt Linda. The relief was overwhelming, like shedding a coat I'd worn too long. I wasn't just skipping a wedding. I was breaking free from a lifetime of begging for love I'd never get. That day, under Mount Hood's shadow, I started to love myself instead. I was halfway up a Mount Hood trail, my breath puffing in the crisp air, when my phone buzzed in my pocket. I ignored it, focusing on the pines and the distant snow-capped peak. But when I checked later, sipping tea at a trailhead cafe, Noah's text lit up my screen. Wedding's a mess. Catering shorted half the food, Chloe's freaking out, and Matthew looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. I stared, expecting to feel smug, but instead, a strange calm settled over me. I'd escaped the chaos I'd feared. More messages trickled in. Sophie, a bridesmaid, texted, Chloe yelled at the DJ for playing the wrong song. Guests are leaving early. Aunt Linda called that evening, her voice low. It's not the celebration they planned, Elena. The cake tipped over during photos, and Chloe snapped at Matthew in front of everyone. I pictured the Willamette Valley vineyard, its fairy lights dimmed by drama, and felt a pang, not joy, but sadness for a day that could have united us. Noah sent a video clip later, Chloe's father-daughter dance, Dad tripping on her dress, her storming off mid-song. Miss you here, he wrote. People keep asking where you are. The social media posts told a story of unraveling. Early photos showed Chloe's perfect smile, Matthew stiff beside her. Later ones captured her tear-streaked face, Matthew arguing with his parents, and empty tables where guests should have been. Matthew's mom, Karen, texted me, "This isn't right, Elena. Your absence was felt. We're sorry." Her kindness cracked something in me, not pain, but gratitude for those who saw me. I replied, "Thank you. That means a lot." Back in my apartment that night, I curled up with a movie, my unworn bridesmaid dress hanging in the closet like a ghost. I didn't need to see the live stream to know I'd made the right choice. The chaos wasn't my victory, it was proof I didn't belong in their script. For the first time, I slept without the weight of family expectations pressing down, the Portland rain a soft lullaby outside. 3 days after the wedding, while I was sorting photos from my Mount Hood hike, Matthew texted, "I owe you an apology, Elena. Can we talk?" My thumb hovered, unsure. He was my sister's husband, my almost something once. Against my better judgment, I called. His voice was heavy. "Chloe was obsessed with you and me from that barbecue. She thought you'd steal her spotlight." I blinked, stunned. "There was nothing to steal," I said. "I know," he sighed. "But she built it up in her head. When we got engaged, she insisted on controlling your role to keep you smaller." My chest tightened, not at his betrayal, but at Chloe's insecurity. All these years, I'd felt less than her, but she'd feared me? He continued, voice breaking. The wedding was her vision, but it wasn't mine. I went along to avoid conflict, but it was wrong. "We're done, Elena." I filed for annulment. I sat on my balcony, Portland's skyline twinkling, processing his words. Chloe had returned to San Diego alone, he said, while he stayed with his parents in Salem. "She resented your success," he added. "Your job, your independence, it aided her." I'd spent my life feeling inferior, but Chloe had been battling her own shadows. It wasn't forgiveness I felt, but clarity. Our family's dysfunction had warped us both. Aunt Linda visited a week later over coffee at a Portland roastery. "Your parents never knew how to handle your strength," she said, stirring her latte. Chloe's neediness fit their narrative, someone to fuss over. "You didn't." Her words reframed my childhood pain, not excusing it, but explaining it. Noah called, too, sharing that Chloe had told the photographer to edit me out of family photos. "It was deliberate," he said. "But people noticed you weren't there." Even my old friend Tara, an invitee, texted, "Chloe's stories about you didn't add up." I should have checked in. Each call, each message was a thread weaving a new truth. I wasn't invisible to everyone. By August, family gossip confirmed Matthew and Chloe's annulment, citing misrepresentation. Chloe moved back with Mom and Dad, her influencer career faltering. They called me, Dad's voice tentative. "We might have messed up during the wedding," he said, a half apology. "Chloe needs you now." I didn't laugh, didn't cry. "I'm not her emotional crutch," I said, steady. Their silence spoke volumes. I wasn't theirs to command anymore, and that felt like freedom. Fall in Portland brought crisp air and a new rhythm to my life. I leaned into my data analyst role, leading a team on a major retail client project, my work a steady anchor. Lauren, my boss, celebrated my promotion to senior analyst with a team dinner, her toast to Elena, who proves her worth every day, warming me more than family praise ever had. Outside work, I found community. Mia and I hosted game nights at my apartment, our laughter drowning out old hurts. I joined a hiking group, our weekend treks through Columbia River Gorge filling me with peace no family gathering ever could. Then there was James, a software engineer I met at a tech meetup. His easy smile and stories of his tight-knit family felt like a foreign language at first. When his mom called just to chat, no agenda, I marveled to him, "Is this normal?" He laughed. "Family should lift you up, not tear you down." Our dates, bike rides along the Willamette, sketching at waterfront cafes, felt effortless, untainted by competition or comparison. With James, I wasn't proving my worth. I was enough. Family contact dwindled, but Aunt Linda's weekly calls became my lifeline. "You're rewriting the rules," she said during one, her voice proud. Noah visited for work, and over beers, he shared updates. Chloe was struggling, blaming Matthew, but starting to question herself. "She asked about you," he said. Not accusing, just curious. I nodded, unsure if I was ready for her. When Mom called about a summer reunion, I didn't jump to agree. "I'll check my schedule," I said, naming James as a possible +1. Her hesitation, "It's complicated with Chloe," revealed the same old priorities. I declined, choosing a trip with James instead. "Family's important," Dad said, disappointed. "So is my life," I replied, calm but firm. The guilt I expected never came. Dr. Nguyen's sessions shifted from healing wounds to building dreams. "You're not erasing family patterns," she said, "but you're choosing how they shape you." I started a community garden project, my hands in the soil grounding me. Sunday dinners with Mia, James, and new friends became sacred, our table a patchwork of chosen family. When Matthew's parents sent a birthday card, I smiled at the small gesture of care. I wasn't rebuilding to spite my family, I was building for me, and that made all the difference. Winter settled over Portland, the city's lights reflecting on the Willamette like stars. 6 months after closing Chloe's wedding livestream, I stood at a crossroads, not the one I expected. Chloe's annulment was final, the legal papers citing fraud, but sparing details. She'd moved back to San Diego, her influencer posts sparse, her confidence shaken. Noah told me she'd mention me again, softer this time. "I wonder how Elena's doing." No apology, but a crack in her armor. I texted back, "I'm open to talking when you're ready, not to dwell, but to understand." The reply hasn't come yet, and I'm okay with that. Healing isn't a straight line, and I'm not waiting for her to define my peace. Mom and Dad's calls grew tentative, their tone shifting from demands to uncertainty. "You've changed," Mom said once, almost accusing. "I've grown," I corrected, feeling the strength in my voice. At Noah's wedding in April, a small coastal affair, I felt the difference. Unlike Chloe's exclusionary spectacle, Noah and his fiancée, Lily, made space for me, seating me with Linda, introducing James as my partner. "Family's what you build," Lily whispered, hugging me. I looked across the room at Mom, Dad, and Chloe, their tables separate, their smiles strained. I didn't need their approval to feel whole. James and I grew closer, his family's warmth showing me what support could look like. Mia's fierce loyalty, Linda's wisdom, and my hiking group's camaraderie filled my life with connection. Work thrived too. A new project landed me a feature in a tech newsletter, my name in print a quiet triumph. Dr. Nguyen's words stayed with me, "Your power lies in choosing your response." When Chloe sent a hesitant text, I think about that barbecue sometimes. Maybe I got it wrong, I felt sympathy, not anger. I'd spent years feeling less than her, but her insecurity had fueled our divide. "Let's talk when it feels right," I replied, leaving the door ajar but not rushing through it. That moment 6 months ago, clicking cancel on the live stream, wasn't just an end, it was a beginning. I'd stopped playing a secondary role in my family's story and started writing my own. Every boundary I set, every hike I took, every laugh with James or Mia, Built a life where I was the main character. I'm not healed completely some days. Old doubts creep in, but I trust myself now. That's the victory. To everyone who's followed this journey, thank you. You've walked with me through pain, betrayal, and the courage to choose myself. If my story hit home, tap that subscribe button and join us, where every step forward is a story of resilience, heart, and new beginnings. Keep carving your own path, and I'll meet you where your truth shines brightest.